Every time you say
So-
Dewan, I perk up because that's my name, Dewan.
Get out.
Is
I
it
know,
spelled
like,
the same?
wait, wait.
Is it DAWON?
No, I spell it DEQUAN. It's a long story. Hey y'all, it's me, Mayhem Miller. What's brewing, Beach?
She's that bitch. Mayhem Miller.
Anya wins Drag Race.
And Curiosity, Gaga before Mayhem. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
There we go.
Boom.
God damn, we're pretty.
Hey, welcome to Minoritea Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Duan.
And it's Auntie Jarrell. What it do? Y'all need to be on
Hey.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Just say it.
This is a YouTube episode. Don't just listen to this on the audio, the Spotify. Well, even though Spotify, we put the video up now too. So if you're on Apple, run over to either Spotify or YouTube. Sorry, Apple. because if you're already watching, you see who on the screen. You come on, but we always do the intro here, so we're gonna do it right. We got the season 10. We got the All Stars 5. We got the UK versus the world. We got the drama. The I'm that bitch. The Mayhem herself, and we ain't talking Gaga. We have
the look queen.
Right, the look queen herself, the Miss Mayhem Miller is in the place to be, baby.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing, love?
I am blessed, black, beautiful, booked, busy.
Look,
I'm all the bees right now.
Period. I know that's
Look,
right.
especially in this economy, that's all one can be because ain't nothing but death and despair out there. So I'd rather be out
in my household.
You know what?
Okay, look.
You said a whole word, and it's so funny because the whole vibe across the black community is we don't give a damn about what's going on out there. We done did our part. We done put our work in. Y'all the ones that fucked up, so y'all gonna have to deal with that shit. We over here doing our line dances, so I'm here for it.
Where your fans at? Where your fans at? Just saying. It's like, baby, can't be bothered today because y'all did this shit.
Look, and I just learned that dance too, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did you really?
I finally learned it. I sure did. Because, I ain't many black people out here in Seattle. So I finally made it to, one of the cousins, kind of black birthday events. And sure enough, I was like, oh, give me that fan. Look, I finally got it.
They done took the fans out the gay bars and done gave it to the black people now. I'm like,
Baby.
But you know what?
The Renaissance tour did it to you.
But this isn't anything that's new for us. I mean, you think about a house culture that came out of Chicago. This. Yeah. All this stuff is rooted in our culture anyway. So as being gays, we kind of it got.
We get it from the black woman. We get it from our mama and our grandmama. So let's be all the way real.
Right?
Let's be all the way real.
That's exactly how we got all these same ass names too on this podcast.
Speaking of names, we've been having the Dr. Seuss over here of the Jarrell and the Carells. And Mayhem, can you just drop a little dime about what your government name actually is?
It's Dewan.
Hey, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it.
This is the first. This is the first for Auntie Shar, okay?
It is.
Because the way it's always Carell and Jarrell, and then we always get that that look like. Say what?
It's like, are y'all
Wait,
making
are y'all
that up?
twins?
No,
Are y'all twins?
Right. It's like, no, we ain't making it up.
Right.
we just black as hell.
But you know what? That's honestly what the podcast is really all about. It's just, showcasing our authenticity. It's, we love kitchen table conversation, just sitting in our own truth and just kikiing with one another. So, and that's the vibe that we put out there. So I'm glad to have.
You spell yours with a Q though. You're Quan.
Yeah.
Where you get the woo sound?
it's a Mexican Q.
I told my parents, I was like, so you threw that Q in there, didn't know that you was gonna end up making me queer with it. So no, it was supposed to be Dejuan, Dewan, but like when they're doing their paperwork, my mom was still, she just gave birth. She was out of it a little bit, and the Q ended up the J looked like a Q. And so that's how it's been on my birth certificate ever since.
I am so done. I love it.
She closed the loop.
She was like, just get me out of here. Give me my baby and let me
damn
go.
it.
It's Providence. It was meant to be that way.
I got a question for y'all, and I haven't really put too much thought into this, but it came to my mind just now. What are the other common Black names that our parents thought were unique, but now as we get older, we're like,
it's the same thing.
There's a bunch of us niggas with the same name, just spelled differently. I mean, what are some other names that are like out there that you're like, everyone got it kind of the same?
Anything with an apostrophe. Anything with an apostrophe.
Every Sean, Lil Sean, Keyshawn, Deshawn.
Yeah, there are a lot of Sean.
Anything with Aquarius, Jaquarius, Taquarius.
I'm so done with you. I'm so done with you. Their mama was an Aquarius and she just put the extra letter in.
Jaquarius.
I am so done.
Anyway. Well, hold on. Before we scroll on off the names, it's not that often that Dawons get a little bit of the shine. I was very curious. Did you ever have any kind of like feelings about your given name, given the fact that it's so different, and there weren't any other Dawons? Well, I was there, but
I always felt unique. I always did, because I had a name that was not common. I met only one other Dawan than myself and you. Like, I had a Dawan when I met in the gay bar once when I was like 18, and he was like, "Oh, my name's Dawan." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "There's no way." He was like, "Yeah." But he spelled it Dajuan.
And then I think Monet Exchange has a friend that's also named Dawan that's somewhere here in. I've listened to their podcast, and I think they're somewhere here in.
Okay.
They're either in New York or they're in LA. I can't remember exactly where they are.
Really?
There's a couple of us out there, all with different spellings.
I'm gonna have to post about this. I need to find out where are all the Dawans at.
But I think I'm the OG.
Where Dawan at? Where Dawan at?
I think I'm the OG because I'm vintage. I'm 1976, so I think I might predate a lot of the other Dawans that might be out there. So
you beat me.
And curious to see if there's any. I'll be curious to see if there are any other Dawans that are before 1976.
Look, and Mayhem said you could have that.
But
she said you can have the original.
But what goes even further is that my first name and my second name rhyme. So I'm Dewan LaShawn Hawkins.
Mine rhymes too.
What is it?
Dewan Armand.
I am so done with y'all Black people. I'm so done.
Baby! All right. I'm coming out to you. I'm buying you. I'm getting drinks for the night. Like we gotta have a Dewan LaShawn, Dewan Armand night, because this is the universe converging.
Whenever you're ready, I am ready.
I got you. Go.
I am so done. I am all the way. I never knew your middle name. That's interesting. All these years, never.
Yeah, I don't really.
We never talk about middle names on here.
You don't cut up like a LaShawn though, so
you should. Right. Right.
I'm a Dewan. Funny thing is that my middle name came from my mom. My mom actually wanted to have my first name to be Dewan, and then my first name came from my aunt. My aunt named me. My aunt Laverne had named me. So, and I don't know where she came up with that name, but it's
Dewan.
Hey, Dewan.
I know you call me both of you. But like, I guess like to kind of go from like your government name and everything. So you're a Cali boy from the ground up. Like you grew out in the LA area. how did that growing up impact your aesthetic as a drag queen now today, and how has it evolved potentially as you've gone throughout your life in the LA region?
See, the thing is, LA has its drag scene is very different than wherever else you go in the world. I remember when I first started doing drag, I thought drag looked a certain way, which was in my circles was you need to look like a woman. Period. No clown, nothing loud. You need to pass as a woman. So that was my aesthetic. And then once I started seeing drag from everywhere else in the country and the world, I was like, oh, it's not like that for everyone. So I always say that the best drag is LA drag. But people get mad when I say that.
I mean, look, after the Creative Awards, I had a time at the Abbey with y'all. And it's oddly enough, I have seen Epiphany perform in Palm Springs for a couple of flip phone events as well too. So it was good to see her again. I was like, oh my gosh, hey girl, how you doing?
I love Epiphany. Love her. I'm with her tonight, actually.
Sweet. Are you really again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love her. She is amazing.
I lived that night at the Queerties. Oh, go ahead.
I have her tonight, and then I have Mariah Balenciaga tonight.
Mariah Balenciaga. I love her. She's gorgeous.
The Shade Queen. The Shade Queen.
She's asleep right now.
Get you together.
Oh, she's knocked out right now.
We went out last night.
She woke up now. Somebody didn't say her name. She didn't perked right up out of bed.
We went out last night ahead of time, and she was like, I'm just going to stay at your house. I was like, all right. I was like, go ahead, baby. The guest room is open.
I'm bummed I missed that night at the Queerty Awards.
Oh, God.
I
didn't stay too late. I was done. I was out of there by midnight. I was like, you know what? This whole tired. I'm going to bed. Well, Jarrell said, I'm having me a time. I'm staying.
Yeah. Well, you had flown from where we were in Brazil. So we had so Corel and I and a bunch of other friends went to Rio de Janeiro for Carnival. And I ended up staying an extra, 10 days or something like that.
You was out there a damn month. Don't lie, you was out there forever. You just got back, girl.
Well, no, I just got back from PV, actually.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, you done went from one hedonistic place to the next.
Indeed.
Didn't even unpack the bag.
It was a very cultural experience.
Oh, is that what you call it? Is that what we call it?
Cultural.
Okay. A cultural experience. That's a T-shirt right there. Okay.
But Corel had to go home. I didn't even go home. Well, that's right, because you
I flew from Sao Paulo to Miami to LA. Slept for 3 hours. I had to do the work, go to the Queerties, slept, and then flew the next day back to Philly.
Oh my God.
It was insanity.
We didn't get the date.
So I was sad to not stay that night.
We didn't get the date for the Queerty Awards until probably a couple of weeks before we left for Brazil. So we had already booked everything, and I wasn't gonna go. I was like,
Brazil.
Well, I had.
But I'm gonna say real quick why I was sad though, why I didn't stay, because you came out to that Angie Stone number.
Yes, man.
And I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you for doing that. Because I was like, not everybody doing Angie Stone numbers. And that shit, I was like, yeah.
And it was also fresh off the press from when she had passed, too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, you did it, within, 48 hours or something like that. And it was just, instant, this was that number, because we know there weren't many of us that night to be up in it to begin with. But I knew it was this is for us. We knew the importance of this number, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap from that point.
Oh yeah. That song has been in my repertoire of performing since it came out. So it had to be done. You have to give honor, and you have to pay homage to, whenever we lose some of our best of our best. So I was like, haha, let me get on the stage tonight and do something for these kids. and I was like, oh, it's being received so well. So I was like, thank you.
Absolutely. I was like, that's what I came here to see, damn it. It's time for me to go to bed.
do you ever feel a certain kind of way when you pick a song to perform that you know is within our wheelhouse, but is not within it's not fully appreciated or even known by the vast majority of the people that come to see you, meaning white people?
So I pride myself on doing music that is not common. You can go to a drag show and you're going to hear the same shit from every other queen
Facts.
over
Facts.
and over and over.
Sure.
And
So
the same dance moves.
I pull out my own personal the same dance moves too. I only do music that I love, and I never take requests. I don't do what's current at the time. I'm a throwback queen, so I like to do music that brings me joy, because I feel if it makes me feel a certain way, then it's easier for me to get on stage and let that take over, and I'm able to captivate people better when it's coming from me as well. So it's never like, oh, are you gonna do that new Taylor Swift song? No, not ever.
No.
The new TikTok song that everyone likes, never. That's not gonna happen when it comes to me. So I like seeing people's eyes light up, or you could see people click when they hear something and they're like, wait, what's that? And I'm like, I'm doing my job, because now I'm in education mode. So now I'm showing you something that you don't know.
And there's a lot.
Classes in
There's
session. The classes in session.
Are there?
And I was just going to say, you can tell when someone is doing a number or song just because that's what everyone else is into.
Yeah.
Versus someone who's doing something that means something to them.
Yeah.
Because that lip sync looks way different. Like how you give, how you serve is way different. When you be like, I'm singing this song because I just left that nigga like 2 days ago and fuck that nigga. So I'm going with this song, and you just like real time, like just emoting all that realness. So kudos, because I love when I hear a song that someone else ain't really normally doing. I'm like,
yeah,
that was on my iPod shuffle. Like, I remember this song, like, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So, yeah.
Is there a song that's like within your, let's say, top 5, top 10 that you also get as much enjoyment out of another queen doing as you do performing it?
Oh goodness. Is there something I like seeing other people do that I do? No.
No. Period. Pooh.
I
passed it to her. Slam dunk, right?
I used to get so pissed if I would see someone do music that I do, and I'd be like, "Now that's my song. What are you doing?" Like, and people would record people, send me videos. They'd be like, "Bitch, she doing your song?" And I'm like, I hope she. I was like, and look, and she's not getting tipped either. So
she said, "If you're gonna do it, do it.
Leave it to the professional."
I know that's right.
Speaking of professional, your beat, your face. First of all, you're gorgeous, just as you are.
Aww.
But like when you no lie, like it helps to have a great canvas, and you have a great canvas.
That's the truth.
Facts.
But bitch, when you paint your face,
yes.
Where did you learn how to paint like that?
Yes.
I learned. I learned in my car.
Blended.
In your car.
I learned in my car.
With the little bitty mirror.
Yep.
and the light, the overhead lighting.
Right.
I've had to paint in the worst places because growing up I was not able to do it at home, so I would have to do it in my car, or I would have to do it at gas stations in the bathroom, or so like I never had the best lighting. It was always in the dark somewhere in an empty parking lot, like. So I had to learn in the toughest places. So I learned to adjust my paint so that you could see it at night without it being on stage. So like that's kind of like where my technique started, was like, okay, if you're in the dark corner somewhere in the alley, will you be able to see me? So I always went with that perspective when it came to painting.
So it sounds like you weren't able to paint at home then.
Oh no!
So like, what did your parents think when they found out you was painting?
The drag was never allowed in the house. Never allowed in the house. It got through when I first started. I remember I had a few little things and it was hidden in my bedroom. And one day I came home and it was all gone. And I was like,
damn, can't have nothing in a Black household.
I said, all my nice things.
Yeah.
So like, I had to dig some stuff out of the trash and then kept it in my trunk of my car. And for the first few years of me doing drag, everything was in my trunk.
Wow. Yeah.
What inspired you to do drag?
A boy.
It'll always do it.
Wait a minute now. You got to elaborate on that. Like, was he doing drag or was he attracted to drag queens?
Oh, okay, so it was complicated. So,
you like a complicated story.
Complicated order, Dawon.
So this guy, he identified as straight, and I fell head over heels over him. Beautiful. And we ended up hooking up and it became a regular thing. But I was like, okay, well, if we're having sex and stuff, like, you just need to be my boyfriend. And he was like, I'm not gay. And I'm like, but you are, but okay, whatever. So in my mind, I was like, okay, he obviously likes me somewhat enough to fuck. So I'm like, what if I do drag and then I'm a girl? He would have the best of both worlds, and then that's how we're gonna make this happen.
That is interesting. The justification. Wow.
So I did it, and he came to the club that night.
This was daytime drag.
Oh no! You know, I was always a woman of the night. So I don't even like doing daytime drag now. I hate doing brunches. I'm like, no, sunlight is not my friend. So I did the show, my first show, and he was there that night, and he ended up telling my best friend, he was like, why did you let him do that? He looks ugly. And I was like, I was devastated. My face cracked. And from that moment on, I was like, I'm gonna prove this motherfucker wrong. I'm like, you will eat those words one day. You're gonna know that I'm a fucking beautiful queen, and now where am I at?
Do you know where this human being is at today?
Jail.
Oh. Well.
Well, shit.
I had a type when
probably got him another
beating up to the double XL.
You got another Dawon up in there.
Stop! You're not
walking around with a t-shirt on his head.
Instead of fan mail.
We had a type.
I want to go back to the conversation about painting, because one of the things that I appreciate about I've been a longtime fan stan since early drag days, and one of the things I really appreciate about your drag aesthetic, and especially the way that you paint, is that you tend to see a lot of like the latest trends in makeup or trends for drag queens kind of like multiplying across all of the drag landscape. So there isn't a sense of originality, because once something works for somebody, you see everybody else doing it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've noticed about the way that you paint, I will see that you will incorporate some things, but you have a certain aesthetic that is really about drag glamour. And I'm just curious, where does that come from, and how do you kind of fight the desire or the tendency to fall into the fad painting that some of your contemporaries do?
I learned early in my career that there's always going to be other girls. There's always going to be someone pretty. There's always going to be someone that does what I do. So I have to be the best of what I do as me, because that will make me stand out and be unique from the pack. So I always made sure that the way that I painted was signature for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I never stepped out of that box of following trend. When I became a professional makeup artist, I learned about trends because people would be like, "Oh, I want to try that. Can you do this for me?" And I'm like, "Of course I can do it for you. I can wham it on you, but I will never wham it on me." Because I'm like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, what works for you will not work for everybody.
No.
So I never recommend brands or types of makeup or different shades, or people are like, "Oh, what palette are you using?" I'm like, "The one I bought."
Yeah.
And like, they're like, "Well, oh, share it, share it." I'm like, "Well, one, they're not paying me to promote it, so why would I
know
shout
that's
it
right.
out?"
I know that's
I'm
right.
like, "No, that's not going to happen." But also, it does some stuff just does not work for everyone, and especially being the queen of color, I had to learn the hard way how to use what was out at that time to work for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And now, thank God, things are way better for makeup for darker skin. But yeah, I had to learn a different way of doing makeup than most people, so I never followed that path.
Because what people don't realize, you've been in the game for a minute, and you came up like your squad of like drag queens that you came up with is insane to even say out loud. Like the Morgan McMichaels and the Ravens and the Deltas and like the Detoxes, like these, like y'all squad was like it.
That was it.
Oh yeah.
So it's just interesting. Even someone like a Raven, who personally I think has changed the makeup game of drag forever.
Hands down. Everyone,
like,
I say it all the
insane.
time. There are Raven doppelgangers running around the drag
One
world.
called RuPaul.
Everyone.
To be all the way right. And I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. And that's why Raven getting all that coin paint in her face. Like, she's just good at it, you know?
Baby. Me and Raven have known each other since the beginning. We started the same day, same show, same club. And we've been friends ever since. And we call each other twin. That's my sister, no matter what. So like, we used to get ready together. I used to go to her apartment and we would just sit there and paint with each other. And I learned a lot watching her do makeup, but I saw the impact of her makeup and what it did for the drag world, because once she got on Drag Race, that mug was posted on every face everywhere after that.
And it still is.
Yeah. It's hilarious to watch. It really is. And I always tell her that, and she's always like, "Shut up." And I'm like, you know that. You changed the game. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
But it still kind of goes back to like what Dawon was saying though, like knowing even when you're friends, sisters with someone that's changed the face of makeup, knowing still, nope, I'm gonna stick in mine because this works for me. That ain't gonna maybe work on my face and my features and things like that. So let me stand fast in what I know works for me and be, like you said, the best at it. So that's the lesson at hand for folks. But like, you might be next to quote unquote one of the best ever at makeup, but that doesn't mean you need to copy that, because it still might not be what's going to be best for you.
No. I like to, when I'm teaching makeup to people, I'm always like, you have to let your face teach you where it wants to go when it comes to makeup. You can't just take a picture of someone else's face and say, I want that look. Everyone has unique features that if you play with makeup and shading a certain way, it will really, really, really accentuate someone. And you can create something beautiful by keeping your own stamp with it, by using what you have been given. So I always just let my face do what it does. And I'm like, okay, that's what she gave me. And that's what you're going to
get. Well, what you've done with the canvas is spectacular. Like, try to find a picture where Miss Mayhem Miller, Miss Deshawn, is not looking flawless. Yeah. It's impossible. Impossible. And that's just a testament to your talent, really.
Thank you. But if there are pictures of me that don't look good, send them to me, because I love them. I love a bad picture of myself. I love it.
I was just a little hungover that day. That's it.
They might be from RuPaul's Drag Race when you were performing one of them challenges, not from when you actually painted yourself. Because when you paint for yourself, baby, you look amazing.
Thank you.
I'm curious, since you've been in the game for a minute, and you've had like a career before Drag Race, during like early Drag Race, and now like the phenomena that is Drag Race and the globalization of it. What has been like maybe the biggest change from maybe like staying just maybe in the LA region and then seeing the US and now the globe? Has it kind of like what's the word I'm looking for?
Homogenized.
There we go. Has it made it just like singular, or have you been like, man, they out here in the UK killing it, or damn, they down here in Brazil seeing some shit I never seen before?
Nope.
No, I am.
It's like,
no, that sounds so terrible. It sounds so terrible. But everywhere I go, the funny thing is, okay, so me and Delta have this thing where whenever we leave town and we're at a show working or we're sitting at a show supporting or whatnot, we always text each other. We'll take a picture or a video of the person and we are like, there's Morgan. Like, look at your sis. Because everywhere you go, there's always someone that reminds you of where you're from, where you're at now. So drag is always the same everywhere. It's always the same. You're gonna have some girl that's real pageanty. You know, you're gonna have one girl that's gonna be, I'm the dancer and I'm gonna do all the wind ups and I'm gonna jump off this, and you know, you're gonna have the girl who thinks she's the fashionista. It's drag is always the same no matter where you're at. No matter where.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Although I will say the execution ain't always the same though.
So let's talk about this this album you just dropped. April 1st, baby. I'm that bitch.
Yes.
Where did the kernel of inspiration for this song come from?
So funny thing is, the producer of that song, I worked with a guy named Ellis, and he was at the Abbey one night on a Tuesday, just hanging out. He's done music for RuPaul and a lot of other girls and stuff. And I was just doing my thing on the Tuesday, and I start singing along to one of the songs because it's a throwback night. So I'm hearing my jams and I'm singing. He looked at me and was like, was that you that just sang that? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, wait a minute. Why does no one know that you can sing? And I'm like, oh, because I don't sing for my act. I don't do that. And he's like, no, we're going to change that. And I was like, whatever. You know, you meet people and everyone says things, and he followed through. He messaged me and was like, hey, so I'm gonna write you a song and you're gonna do it, and I want you to get in the studio and we're gonna start utilizing your talent. And I was like, sure. Like, yeah, you write the song and you let me know how it goes. And then you messaged me the next day and was like, all right, so I scheduled you some time in the studio, come on out, and here you go. And I was like, oh fuck, I gotta do this now.
You said la 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 la. Let me get these vocal warm ups.
La 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 la. I was like,
right.
So yeah, that's how it came about. And you know, we had talked. We had, you know, a little session where he was like, okay, well, what's on your mind? What type of vibe that you would want to put out there? And I'm like, oh, it has to be house music. I love house music. Yeah. That's just been my thing all my life. And I was like, we always have to do something that's uplifting, you know, have a message in it somewhere. Because my favorite type of house music is either gospel house or strong vocals. I want good 90s house music.
Yes.
I want a strong vocal. And so he was like, okay, cool. He was like, well, I think a lot of people need to know what we all know about you that a lot of people don't get to see, is that you're that bitch. You're the girl of the scene that we all know, that everyone has nothing but respect for. You run everything all throughout Southern California. And he's like, period. We're gonna put a stamp on that. And you know, I was like, all right, let's do it. So that's how it came.
How did it feel getting into the studio and feeling the words actually leave your vocal cords and like get on the track? Like, what was that feeling like?
She said, yeah, I know. I am that bitch. Shit.
It was fun because I was like, okay, I sang all of my life, all throughout school. I wanted to be an opera singer. All those things that I wanted to do when I was younger, I was now being able to do it once again now in the capacity I'm at now as a drag queen. So it was like, okay, I'm revisiting, this old dream of mine. And I'm like, okay, feeling I was apprehensive at first because I'm like, oh my God, I know how vicious the drag world is and how the fans are. And I was like, do I really want to put out music again? I don't know. And then I was like, as I was singing it in the studio, I was just like, this is good. I feel comfortable with it, and I think people are gonna like this a lot. So I felt good with it.
Because maybe some of the girls shouldn't do it.
Oh, I was gonna say what struck me about this song in comparison to a lot of other songs that have been
say their names.
Too many. We don't have enough time on the podcast.
It's like the rolling credits.
Right. Is that this doesn't sound like a drag queen song. It doesn't sound like, a co-opted, reproduced, like, because, some of them songs be a little tinny. They'd be a little, thin in the content and the musicality and the production. But this legitimately is a bop, and it's something that you could it has teeth to it. And
thank you.
That's rare, because a lot of the stuff that comes out from a lot of these queens, mostly non-melanated queens, I have to say, ain't this.
And there's a difference between singing and being DNA. No, that's true. But there's a difference between between singing and being an artist, right?
Right.
And when you're an artist, you are coming from a place of talent. You're coming from you're using an actual gift, and you're doing it in a way that it's supposed to be done. And it clearly shows, like Dwan was saying, like, this doesn't feel like part of that ecosystem of a queen just putting a song out there just to put a song out there. It's like, no, this is, I'm ready for the catalog, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready for all of it. I'm ready to go down the rabbit hole and like, where's more? Like, this is where
I think more's coming.
And as it should.
Or
honestly, as it should.
Thank you.
Are you doing the singing? Are you doing the singing?
Right now, you ain't Millie Vanilli.
No,
Mayhem Miller.
Right.
I wish it was that easy. I wish I was just lip syncing to somebody else.
That part. I'm curious too, like, obviously in this landscape, especially the last, call it, decade, we've seen just like the political side of things and the wrath of extremists against our community, A, and then just even the drag art community, B. How do you maintain your joy and your peace and your mental health and all this stuff, and then continue to fight that you need to be and stay visible and things like that when days where you're like, man, these bitches out here crazy?
What helps me during these weird times is knowing that I have a purpose. And my purpose is to help other people through hard times. And as a bar queen, that's been my objective all these years, for 25 years, is going out at night and helping other people forget about their worries for just a little bit, to just let go, have fun, have a good laugh, listen to some good music, get out there and dance, have a drink, just to be that little break from the nightmare. So I just know that, my little piece of the puzzle helps in some way. So I just continue doing that, and it brings me joy, it brings me happiness, knowing that I'm able to do that and provide that for other people. The shows that I produce, I'm able to employ so many other queens, so like, I know that I'm helping in many ways. I'm not only just, fulfilling something that's gonna help someone, pay their bills and get through the hard times, but I'm also giving other people hope and joy at the same time. So that I'm doing my little piece that I need to do to help the world.
What a blessing too. Like not many people get to live a life of walking in their purpose and doing something that also pours into them, because it sounds like you do this from a place of service. And when you give to others and you see that temporary joy, it comes back to you as well.
Oh, always.
So like, it's almost like you burning the candle, but the candle ain't burning ever because it's anointed. Like, can't nobody stop that.
Iyanla Van Zandt once said, "What's in my cup is for me. What spills out of my cup is for y'all." Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, beyond these particular gifted acts of service, how do you fill your cup and make sure that your cup is filled, is kept full?
It's been a process of learning balance. Because I'm always a yes person. I don't turn down a gig. I will always get my bag, and I'm always going to make sure that I'm doing all the things I want to do. So in doing that, I for years was neglecting Dwan because I wanted Mayhem to be successful. So I finally started, really doing self-care, not just saying it for lip service. It was like, okay, yeah, no, you're going to have to make sure that you have good balance in life. And is just as much as you work, you need to have time away from work. And just not always, having work as a center of my life, because that's not who I am and it's not who defines who I am. It's just a piece of who I am. So I'm just very good about being like, all right, there's Dwan time and there's Mayhem time. And now I'm being more about, I need to feed more Dwan. I've done great with my career and it's always going to be solid. So I'm not worried about that anymore. I'm not worried about the hustle. Now I'm enjoying the blessing. So I just
Dwan day. Like what?
Dwan day?
What's the day where you're like, okay, this is Dwan likes this, not Mayhem.
I love when I get to sleep. So I will nap. A good nap, oh my God, that will just do everything for me. But on the days off that I have, I'll get up, I'll get dressed, I will get in the car, and I just go.
Yeah.
I just decide, I'm like, is it left or right on the freeway? Which way we going? So it's today is a right. So we get on the freeway and we just go somewhere. And I'm going to take myself to lunch. I'm going to get a pedicure. Let somebody rub on my feet.
I know that's right.
If I can get a massage in, I will do that as well. I want to make sure that I take care of myself. So I will go and I'll buy myself something nice. It could be something small. It could be something big. But I always, whenever I have a me day, I'm like, no, you want some cologne? Get you some cologne. You want to get your car washed. Let that baby shine. Do something for me that brings me happiness. And then I come home and then I watch my stories because I'm an old lady. So.
Okay, first I got two questions. One, what's your daytime story that you like to watch the most?
Oh my God. So I don't watch any soaps, but my stories that I like are 90 Day Fiance.
Oh God, you
are a Dwan. You are a Dwan, bitch. What's your zodiac sign? Are you a Leo as well? Because I got questions.
I'm an Aquarius.
Okay, look. I was like, look.
I'm about to say, it better not be Judge Judy next, because then I'm really going home. That's all this Dwan watch. It's the 90 Day Fiance, 395 pounds and growing, whatever the name of these damn shows are.
My TV stays on either TLC or HGTV.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. That is a Dwan day.
So is. It's the International Dwan Day.
It's so funny. Everything you were saying, like, buy myself a little something, get a little manicure, pedicure. Like literally, that was like my Saturday this past weekend. I was like, let me get out in these streets. I want to, there's a little something else I want to like add to the wardrobe. I want to get a little pampering. I was feeling a little like non-human, needed to get my nails done and feet done and all that kind of stuff. Self-care. And I think one of the things that people don't realize is that it doesn't have to be big things. And I love what you said. It's, just doing the things that I love the most.
If I usually, what I'll also do is I'll add in, I'm like, I need to visit someone so that it's not just a me day. I would be like, all right, we're going to go visit my parents, or we're going to go, I'll call a friend that I haven't hung out with in a long time and be like, hey, where you at? What you doing? Let's, grab a coffee real quick, or you want to get a drink, I want to reconnect with the people that are not a part of my daily interaction, because sometimes I feel like those people are neglected because I'm at work all the time. So not everyone's at the club every day, all night long.
Right.
So I'm like, I try to include, okay, let's visit someone. So I'll make sure that, I smile with another person.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that. Well, let's see here. Before we get into curiosity here, we community, we normally do a separate episode for the Drag Race stuff, but the finale's out there and you already done seeing who won, so it is what it is.
Okay.
How did you feel about season 17? Which is crazy to say. I'm like, season 17. And then what did you think about the finale? And then the winner.
Okay. I didn't watch.
Wait, do you still get joy out of watching? Like, you've been on it the 3 seasons. Do you still get joy out of that?
Well, it's okay. So I explain it to people this way. Like, I've competed in 3 seasons, and then I've done a holiday special with Drag Race. I work behind the camera now as a makeup artist. So I've participated in several other seasons just as that being my day job. So and then at night I'm doing my job as a queen. So I can't consume drag all the time. So when people are like, oh, what'd you think of this episode? I'm like, baby, I didn't watch. I didn't watch. I was busy doing what I do. So
she got 15 jobs.
I was like, it's not that I don't want to, but I just can't all the time. So I only watch if I have a horse in the race. If I know someone personally, I'm like, okay, I want to watch and cheer you on. But I didn't know any of the girls. The only girl I did know was Anya, and she won. So
there we go.
She came to town before she got on Drag Race. Right before she got on Drag Race, I got a message and was like, oh, I'm coming to town. Is there any way I can get some work? Abso-fucking-lutely, And so I booked her in a show, and we're sitting there, and everyone else leaves the dressing room, and she's like, can I ask you a question? I'm like, sure. And she's like, I'm going to the race. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right. And she's like, do you have any advice for me? And I was like, absolutely. I'm going to give you some advice. I'm like, come on, sis, let me help you out. So I gave her some advice, and I'm happy to see that she ended up taking the crown, because she's a really, really nice person.
Oh, that's good to hear. And I was about to burn this mother down if she didn't win. I was like, fuck all this TV. Fuck it all. Burn it all the way down.
When she got back from filming, I ended up booking her again when she was in town. And I was like, so how'd it go? And she was just like, and just gave me the nod, and I said,
there we go. It's like, mother is proud. Mother is proud.
I said, I don't need to know nothing else. So I was like, I'm happy with, if you're smiling, I'm happy.
There we go.
When you interact with other queens, more specifically Black queens, what is the feeling? Is there a sense of community being built within the Black drag community, or does it still feel a bit fractured? Like people are kind of doing their own things, and you have some cliques that are together, and things like that. Like, what's your take
take
on
that
it?
sip. Take that sip. Take that sip.
Let me just drink on there. He said, "Next question."
I'll be honest and say within the Black queens, there are people who are cliquey, and there are people who are just about themselves, and then there's some of us who get it, and we're supportive of each other. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit of everything, and it's kind of evident if you see it on social media that who's who with who. So it's something else.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'm not that surprised, just because, I mean, I see it just within the queer community, within, you know, when it comes to different races and backgrounds of the queer community, and then like within the Black community, the Black queer community as well. Like, I live in Seattle, and Black people make up 6% of the place. Like,
yep.
We here, okay? Mm-hmm. And even within that number, there's still some people who over here, because they work in tech, and they just think, you know, I got my degree and I'm making this money and I'm over here. You got some of the
degree.
You got your degree. You know everything. And there's me, Monique, over there being like, exactly, right. Since you got your degree, right? But I mean, like, it's crazy to. I want to say it's crazy. I wish that we would get to a point where, especially when we have platforms to be able to make space for everyone, that everyone would just be on one accord when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know, and that it's not a competition. Like, you do you, I do me. We can exist at the same time. As Dawon has gotten me to learn, you know, it's not always a this or that. It can be a this and that, right? Yeah. You know, and multiple things can happen at the same time. I just wish we took from that just a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
I'm not gonna lie. I went to see Nubia when the first round, and it was such a joy to come out and support, you know, a fully Black produced, performed experience. And I was hopeful that upon the success of that run, that we would see more of Black queens banding together and doing things like that. You know, you don't have to have, you know, some of the OGs in order to make that happen, but you know, there's enough coin to go around. And what I loved about that experience is that it wasn't necessarily tied to like a bar. It was showcasing their talent, produced the way they wanted it to be produced, and gave the vibe that they wanted to create. And I am hopeful that we'll see more of these Black type productions coming out of some of our Black queens. And hopefully we'll get some of these new queens that are coming out that have the hunger and fire underneath them to maybe.
And the new knees.
Look, take the baton, girl. Look, take the baton.
These knees and ankles, baby, I can't.
Seriously, it's like, get them new knees out there. Come on, Anya. In, out. Come on, baby.
Little girl, come over here, little girl.
Baby. Because these knees ain't like they used to be. All right, we're gonna get into curiosity real quick here. So. Okay. Let's see here. The first one here is, let's see. Who is your favorite actor or character from All That? Since you do your All That Throwback Tuesday at the Abbey.
Oh my gosh. What was her name? Was it Mary Beth? Was that her name?
Or Lori? Was it Lori Beth or Mary Beth? Lori Beth. Oh, the big girl.
She was the chunkier one.
Yeah, I think it was
Mary Beth, the librarian.
I think it was Mary Beth.
The vital information.
Yep.
Yeah, she was my favorite.
She was just in a commercial as that librarian recently.
Lindbergh, right? Where did Mary Beth Lindbergh?
Something like that.
Not Dawon remember her name.
I know, right, Dawon. Wow. He said, I guess it must be a Dawon thing. That must be his favorite too.
All the way wrong. Lori Beth Denberg.
Denberg. See, I knew it was something, but close enough. You down home, girl. You knew who we was talking about.
You had one of the three names, okay? You had one of the three names. There was a Beth, and you got it. So
we knew exactly what we was talking about.
I knew it was one of them. It was like, okay, there's a separate name and it's Beth. I know that.
Yes. that part. Is there a number that you know will kill every single time?
Ooh, I have Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston. I have nothing.
I have nothing. Yeah, baby.
Every time.
Wait, hold on. I have nothing, or I will always love you.
Because who does?
Right.
When I do, I always love you. It's a crowd pleaser, definitely. But the other one, usually, that's the one everyone's like,
yeah, I agree. I think it's the harder song.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also the music pause and breaks in that song too for a lip sync that you have to have that timing. And actually, I think that's trending right now on TikTok, where they're like the drop, like we see a lot of people who are like in drums, like trying to get the drop down.
Yep. Oh, I saw that.
Same time. Yeah.
It's the key change and everything. Yeah, she sang the shit out that song.
So dead. Wait, speaking of Whitney Houston, y'all saw that meme that said, y'all crackhead ain't gonna outdo our crackhead for the national anthem. Talking about her.
Yeah, I think did I send it to y'all? I forget. Yeah. Baby. Like, keep Jimmy out this conversation.
I can't.
I said the internet be on one. It really did.
Stay on one.
Got the time today.
Let's see here. Do you still not wash dishes and buy new ones, or have you started washing dishes?
I learned my lesson about just saying shit on podcasts. I'm like, I need to guard my words sometimes, because I said that and it has haunted me ever since.
I bet it has.
I mean,
she said, I'll be throwing shit away.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I'm not throwing away dishes and pots and pans anymore. I have paper goods that I dispose of.
There we go. Boom. Boom. I'm with you on that. Your favorite color wigs, blonde, black, or brunette? Or a ginger moment, a red moment.
I love an ash blonde on me. It's a specific shade. It has to be ash. Okay. But if I find the right color of auburn, that's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I love an auburn on Rue still. Like whenever
I think it looks
auburn,
the best on her.
Same. Because she's been in this this season in the wigs of Rue, by the way, I was not happy.
And not just the wigs.
It was a crunchy
It's the makeup, and it's the outfits, and it's the padding, and it's the shoes.
Wait, hold on, Mayhem, you didn't do the makeup, did you?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't ever get to do. I do not get to do Rue, but I did try on one of her wigs once, and
How did the hard line?
I was
feel?
like, oh my God, she's sweating this. Oh. I was like, oh, this is Rue.
Wait a minute.
I felt like I put on a crown. I was just like,
I bet you did.
Yeah.
I said, I'm the only girl. I said, there's no other girl that can say I've been in RuPaul's wigs. I'm like, I'm the only one.
Yeah. Wait, does Rue know you've been in RuPaul's wigs?
Oh, fuck.
We can bleep that shit out. We can bleep that out.
Raven was like, put it on. And I was like, no.
Oh, so see, it's Raven's fault. See,
Raven was like, it's fine.
I want to manifest this, because I feel like you and Raven would be the perfect recast of It's a Simple Life. Like, have you in drag. It's yours.
I'm not mad at that idea.
Can you imagine going into small towns and little bars or whatever, just causing all kinds of chaos and mayhem?
Gay ruckus.
Because that's what we used to do all the time. We're from little town, so we would go into. I used to terrorize the straight bars here in Riverside. I would go to all the straight bars in drag and just party with the boys, and everyone would be like,
"Are you doing?
Who is this black drag queen in here?"
Just killing it.
And Ray was like, "You really gonna go and drag?" I'm like, "Yeah, girl, come on, let's go."
I love it.
Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna preface this with we love both the queens. Okay, Sasha Colby or Sasha Velour?
That's not fair.
I know. It's not fair at all.
Oh my gosh, because they're two of my favorites. Do I have to pick one?
Yes.
The other Dawon said yes, so I'm gonna go with the other Dawon on
you
this.
You got 10 toes. You better stand on this.
Or at least 9 of them.
I will say it with you.
Colby.
Yeah,
I see that,
and it could be like a 51-49%, like literally.
I love Colby because we've been friends way before Drag Race, and we have the same taste in music.
Yeah.
She is the only other queen I know that performs a lot of the stuff that I do that no one else knows. So we have that connection. But Velour, I adore of her artistry. In her own lane, in her complete own lane.
Yep. Mountains or beach?
Oh man, you're really killing me today. I adore the beach, but my spirit has been in the mountains this past year.
Okay. Like Montana mountains or California mountains?
California mountains. I live at the base of a mountain right now, so I go to the mountains every so often when I have a day off. So I love the mountains anywhere though.
Yeah. Okay.
Come to Seattle. We got plenty.
I love Seattle. I love Seattle.
We got some hills over here in New York. I'm in the Heights. So we got
some
hills.
I guess we got the Poconos now I think about over here. So, we got the Poconos. Have you ever gotten to meet Lady Gaga in person after denying her the dressing room at the beginning of her career? And tell this story, by the way. A lot of people might not know this story.
When Gaga first appeared to the world, she went on a gay bar tour, because that's what everyone does. You got to get the gays first. So she came with her disco stick, and we were told that we were told that there was going to be this artist coming, and they were going to perform after our drag show, and we were going to have to share the dressing area. But our dressing area was really small at that place, and I and some other people were like, absolutely not. We threw a big stink about it, and so they end up getting like a little trailer and had it parked in the parking lot, and they had her get ready in that instead. And I have not seen her since then. It's my biggest regret that I was that bitchy and was like, absolutely not. What's a Lady Gaga? Ugh.
And
now Gaga's like,
in your wig and face full of makeup.
It was great. Like, it was
the audacity.
Just Dance had went like bananas 3 weeks later.
Damn.
And it was on everything, and I was like, oh.
You said, oh, is that Lady Gaga?
I said, oh, that's that girl.
That's that girl. And her disco stick.
He said, Stephanie, that's you, girl.
I was like, oh, that's that girl with that stick and them goggles. So I said,
I mean, but to be fair, to be completely fair,
yeah, that was a meteoric rise.
When Gaga came out, that was like complete left field from an artistry perspective. So like, and at that time, there were like a gang of little like blonde little girls that were doing kind of like the similar kinds of things. So it's the world wasn't really ready for that, and y'all had earned your spot in that dressing room. So I don't blame you one bit for making
little
that,
white. You said take the little white girl stick her in the trailer.
You got to
I
go.
said, put her in the Winnebago outside. I said, she ain't
Baby.
coming in here.
Right. She got to earn her dues like every goddamn body else.
If you're going to come to the gay bars and do a tour, look, that's what we do in the gay bars.
And Mayhem, this is part of her origin story. So in a way,
you're welcome.
right. Mayhem is responsible for the new Mayhem that's out now.
I'm like, look.
She learned a lot in that trailer by herself.
That's why she named her album Mayhem.
That's why it's named Mayhem. She was talking about you.
Mayhem.
Everything done to me, been already done to you.
She ain't forget. Oh, Lord. You once said that you blamed Freddie, Tyson, Ryan, John, Boris, Shamar, Jared, JC, Chico, and Jude for de-straightening you in the 90s. So I'm gonna give you 3, and the rest gotta go. Who really did the de-straightening though?
Oh God. Okay, who was on that list?
I'll say it again. You had Freddie Perez Jr., you had Tyson Beckford, you had Ryan Phillippe, you had John B., you had Boris Cujo, you had Shamar Moore, you had Jared Leto, you had JC Chazé. Yeah, Chico DeBarge was fine as shit back in the day, baby. Jude Law. Mine might be Chico. Chico, he had just got out of jail when he had that song with Joe. Baby,
she said she had a type.
I had a type.
Chico came out. He said, "Baby, I don't like women's no more."
Okay,
so who's the top 3?
Top 3 is Tyson. Ryan, Shamar.
I think we have a very similar top 3, honestly. And Ryan
I'll kick
still
Ryan
looks
off
good
Chico.
today.
Ryan still looks good.
Tyson still looks good. Shamar still looks good.
Boris Cujo and his wife. That's just a pretty ass couple.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Woo. Freddie Perez ain't aged as well. He's
Yeah, Freddie, he didn't age too well. He still look good though.
He look all right. I wouldn't say
look
no,
good.
but
I think out of that whole group, I think everyone did okay aging.
Yeah. I haven't seen Chico. I don't know where Chico at, but Chico.
And actually just on John B on the Sherry Shepherd show
John
last
B.
week.
He's putting together.
Yeah, he just had a new song that just came out.
I haven't listened to it. I want to listen to it. We'll see if it still gives me them 90s energy. Because
I don't know. Some of the people making their second trip, like making their comebacks, I ain't been featuring yet. Just a little bit. Sorry, Carrie Hilson.
John B was always invited to the barbecue.
Yeah.
You said no Carrie?
Carrie Hilson, I didn't like
the
it.
album's not good.
I didn't like
it's not.
it.
Did
you like it? Did
I
you
like
it?
Bay. I didn't like the rest of the songs.
Yeah. It just felt like she pushed pause and then pushed play from back then. But there was nothing new to make it a little bit more updated.
Relevant.
I felt like I was literally listening to a song from a previous album, which when I listened to music back then, I listened to those albums. If you're gonna give me something from back then, I need something just a little bit different. Just not a whole bunch different, but it was a copy and pasting back then.
And like she says, a 3-part album. So like this is like the first part of the other 2. So I'm hoping the other 2 parts.
She needs to stay away from Beyonce. That's how she got canceled in the first place. What you mean you gonna do a 3-part album? I'm sorry. This is about Mayhem. So back to the questions, please.
I'm so done with you. All right, we're gonna put together a Drag Race Voltron.
Okay.
And we're gonna so the Voltron is like the different pieces. So it could be, one piece from this drag queen, this piece from this drag queen, and the first one's gonna be makeup, but it can't be Raven because that's a cheat code. It can't be Raven. Who would do the makeup for this Voltron?
Okay. Ooh, who has good makeup?
He said nobody else but me and Raven. Shit.
Baby. That is a Dawan thing to say.
I will say morphine.
Yes.
God, get away. He loves him some morphine. Damn it all. Y'all Dawans are the same. Literally, morphine just like the night at the Queerties, we took a picture with morphine to send to Dawan because he loves the way morphine paints.
Her makeup is really, really good.
It's so good.
It is very good.
And honestly, it's underappreciated in the stratosphere of everything that exists because that girl can paint.
Yeah.
All right. Which drag queen is going to be doing the hair?
Delta.
Who's Delta? Yeah.
1,000%.
See, that's a cheat code though too, because Delta'd be doing it. So outside of Delta.
Who has good hair?
It'd be so hard.
He said, I'm going bald headed.
Not these hoes.
Sasha Velour.
It's a good look.
Baby, Mayhem, you're gonna get dragged for this because the name should be dropping off the tongue, but what you're not saying.
All 17 iterations and all 10 all-stars, they all hating you right now. They say, bitch.
What about me? Since you got your fucking degrees.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god!
You on? I'm just egging.
Oh my! I can't think of someone that has great hair.
Because for those listening, like Delta
does
did wigs were ruined, like so that's a cheat code. Raven and Delta, you can't do them that because that's the ultimate drag queen doing the hair and the makeup for the ultimate one.
Yeah, no, we're going bald.
Yeah, we're going bald. Damn.
We're gonna wear a helmet. A helmet.
No, she's not Gigi Good. The Gigi Good collection.
Oh shit!
Gigi
no,
Good does good hair.
She does great hair. She did a wig for me. We're going Gigi.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Gigi
I got you,
very
boo.
good.
I got you.
I forgot she did a wig for me. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go with Gigi. Alrighty. Performance style.
Chad Michaels.
Ooh.
Okay.
Captivating.
Yeah.
You're gonna be entertained.
You know what? I haven't done this one before. I'm gonna throw this one in here because it just came to me. The wit. Have I done the wit? Like the comedic style.
Personality, the wit, the way she comes across.
Jasmine Masters.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
Yep.
At it. I'm not mad at it. Hey, what's up, Jazz?
Hey, Jazz.
We gotta have her back on the podcast.
Makes me laugh so much. I love her to death. Her in the dressing room, it's a riot. It really is.
That's how I got to meet Epiphany because I reached out to Jasmine, who's in Palm Springs, and she was like, "I'm performing with Epiphany at the Flip Phone." And every time I go to Palm Springs, I'm like, "What's up, sis?"
Love her.
And then the business acumen.
Ooh, Bianca.
Ooh.
Not mad at that.
Yeah.
You know, Bianca low key be painting too, low key. It's very Bianca, but Bianca be painting.
She can paint, and it's original. That's her. That's her stamp.
Yeah.
And I wonder if she could do anything different outside of that, but it's good. It's good. When you look at it up close, it looks great. And then when on stage, it looks even better.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, Bianca, low key. But yeah, no, her business acumen. Okay. And then is there, like, I mean, that's the Voltron. Is there to you a Rushmore of drag? Like, who are the 4 people where you're like, this is just the epitome of drag? Outside of yourself. We already know.
Outside of me.
Yes.
My Mount Rushmore is, Rushmore's 4 or is it 5?
4.
Yep,
4. Ooh, Raven. Sasha Colby. I would pick. Oh,
I know it's tough.
oh, this is hard. Okay. We're doing Velour too, and then I'll land with. I'm gonna land with. Ooh, Raja.
Ah.
I think that's a really
nice
good
Rushmore.
Rushmore.
That's a nice Rushmore.
1000%.
And these are like contemporaries too. I was wondering if you were going to go like, you know, like homage to, or, you know, like, so this is great.
Yeah. And then we always ask everyone this: Beyonce or Janet?
Janet.
No hesitation, no beat, because it wouldn't be.
You said that. You're the one that said that's the quickest.
Yeah.
I Janet was the last concert I saw, and I was blown away.
Yeah. And she's still up there at like 58, 59.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much of her music that I love. I was like singing, I sang through the whole concert. I was like, dang, she has a lot of hits that I was like, oh my God. Yeah, you are that girl. I was like, okay. And she was the first tape I ever bought.
Really?
First cassette tape.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. She was my first CD that I ever got. My parents got me they got me a couple for that Christmas. It was the Boyz II Men, their first album, and then 2 had just come out. It was a Janet album, and I feel like I'm missing one in there. I forget what the 4th one is at, but all I knew was the Janet with the titties out, and I was like, oh, that's how they should have known I was gay. Like, I didn't want the titties. I was just like, just like the gorgeousness of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Oh, we'll never forget that. And it was the CD, and I got my boombox that year too. Best Christmas ever. To this day, best Christmas ever. Oh man. Well, Dawon, aka Mayhem. We're gonna have to have you back because you're a key of a time.
Yes.
Tell them, obviously the music's out. Tell them what you have coming up, whatever you want to tell them where to find you. They know where you're at, but just in case for those that are living on the rock, tell them where to find you.
I'm in the streets. I'm in the streets, Eddie. You can catch me at a show everywhere in Southern California, and anytime, any day of the week. Mondays we're in Palm Springs at Toucans. Tuesdays we're at West Hollywood at the Abbey. Wednesdays we're in San Diego at Moe's. Thursdays I'm in bed. Fridays I'm in Riverside at VIP Nightclub. Saturdays I'm in WeHo at the Abbey. And Sundays I'm in Palm Springs at Toucans.
I hope you get an electric car.
I do.
I was just thinking, you say you get in the car and drive some more. I'm like, I ain't driving nowhere.
That's a 2-hour drive from LA to Palm Springs. So
I cover all
from Riverside. You're
the area.
Because Riverside is like on the way to Palm Springs, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Which what?
Is Riverside's on the way to that, because that's where you're from originally. So that's on the way to Palm Springs, right?
Yeah, it's right in the middle between Palm Springs and LA.
Yeah, so I guess you're used to that highway there. But baby,
correct. I'm surprised you remember that the way I was driving.
I ain't getting in the car. All I know is I ain't getting no car from Palm Springs to LA with Jarrell no more. Baby damn near killed us on them highways.
And you still alive and no tickets. You welcome.
Oh Lord. Well, Dawon, Jarrell, anything else on your hearts and mind before we get out of here?
I just want to say thank you again. I know I was a random ass stranger who came up to you and was like, love you. I want you on the podcast. We need more representation. I want to give you your flowers.
Yeah.
And thank you for not being scared of me, because I know they call me Auntie Henny for a reason. I come on a little bit strong. It's a little bit strong. And honestly, like meeting you that night was literally one of my highlights, and just having someone who is so well known just be so kind and gentle with me in that space was just so nice, especially in a room full of so many people who are just, known in the queer space. And I just, when you talked about, just like leading with purpose and being a person of service, like it really shone that night. And then you also following through and being a person of your word, just solidifies that even more. So I just honestly just thank you. Like, it means so much to me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for seeing me, and I hope I help you feel seen as well. So thank you.
I definitely do. Absolutely.
Well, community.
No, that's how you go. How do kids do it these days?
Oh, I can't
Girl.
do it. They be looking like
I
they're
can't
doing
throw
gang
gang
signs.
signs.
I just
How they be doing it? How do kids be doing it nowadays?
You and us, we never
My finger's
part.
right.
Like, we gotta do
Community, wash your hands, your legs, your ass. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Oh, Lord. Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minority Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jarrell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at minorietyreport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass.